But a lot of this stuff, I mean, just looking at all organisations, one of the tough things is about staying still. It's always about change. And it's really interesting, having worked for companies and have seen companies who firsthand resisted change and didn't change, or even worse, changed at the wrong time. One of my clients was Thomas Cook, RIP, and I don't think it's a reflection on the work that I did with them, hopefully. But change, you want to change on the way up, not on the way down, don't you? Change is a good thing, but change at the right time. So I think with change comes the feedback. So looking at the work that you're doing with the espresso chats, and the work that you're doing is around feedback, isn't it? Who likes to get feedback? It's positive, isn't it? But the thing about feedback is, sometimes negative feedback sends you into shock, doesn't it? Because you don't really want to have that negative feedback, and you know that you need to have it to get better, but it's not nice to hear. So there's actually a fear of change. There's an actual thing, like people have got fear of flying, fear of spiders. Does anybody know what the fear of change is called? There's a prize for this one. No? Okay. It's actually called metathesophobia. There'll be a prize for anybody that can pronounce it better than me. And do you want to have a crack? I think sometimes we sit in our comfort zone, don't we? Even when we know the answers, it's that fear of change, it's the fear of speaking out that we struggle with. So, looking at the espresso chats, that is not just going to be new for you guys to conduct them, but the team. That's new, that's different. So there'll be people in your team who will actually have, say it again.
Oh, that's easier for
you. Yeah. There will be people in your team who have that. And as leaders, it's your job to control that and manage that, isn't it? And sometimes if you've not got that, sometimes again, my lovely lady there with the white cardigan, she loves the negative feedback, bring it on! But that's not the case for people that are in your team. Some will and some won't. So if we have a little look, a lot of this comes to mindset. Has anybody ever heard Carol Dweck's TED Talk or anything around mindset? If not, I thoroughly recommend it. Again, take it from the master, not from me. What I've done is I've translated it into sort of things that I relate to other people. So if we look at a fixed mindset, and again, it's interesting looking at the kick-off this morning with the incentives, because you get some people that are just cynical, aren't they? Another incentive, I'm never going to win. It's always the same people that win all the time. Don't know why I'm going to bother trying, because I'm either good at that or I'm not. Failure, you know what, we tried this before and it didn't work. Oh, here we go again. I don't like to be challenged. Please don't give me negative feedback. And they might not even say that in their words, but the body language will be like, oh, please don't say anything negative. I don't know, don't know if I can take this on the chin. I stick to what I know. Oh, I don't know why we're doing this again. Feedback. That's personal. You're picking on me by giving me that negative feedback. You don't really want to make me better, you just want to pick on me. Some people think with a fixed mindset. In large organisations, it happens a lot. But I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about, what do the top performers do? What do entrepreneurs do in organisations? They always, and I mean always, think with a growth mindset. I can learn anything I want. Even sales. Only joking, you don't have to learn sales, but I can learn anything I want. Failure, it's an opportunity to grow. Every time I screw up, I've got a phrase. Because nobody does anything perfectly all the time, do they? Because even that in itself is a weakness. So every time I do something, I go, boom! That's a new chapter for my book. It's great, we're always learning, and when it goes wrong, you learn more than when it goes right. I can try new things, and I take feedback on board as constructive because it will help me to develop. So, lady with the white cardigan, I'm sensing a growth mindset there. Woo! So can you see where a growth mindset is really important? I'm sure there will be people in your teams who have got a fixed mindset. I wouldn't bet on it, but see what I did there? So can you change your mindset? So I want to tell you a wee story about my dad. This is my dad, who passed away several years ago. But we were born in Clydebank, which is just outside Glasgow, working class. Anybody Scottish in the room? Oh look, half a hand, he's half Scottish. That mean your granny was from the Barton?
No, but I know a lot about Clydebank.
Are you a banky?
No.
No? It was like, oh no. Oh, I'm certainly not from anywhere near there. Don't tell anyone. So my dad was born in 1935, and when he was 8 years old, he got knocked down by a push bike. So this was 1943. There was quite a lot going on in the world at that time. And they told him that he would never walk again. He was an orphan anyway. He was put into a hospital, which again, at that stage, the NHS isn't what it is now. And he was told he'd never walk again. But he had a growth mindset, and he wasn't having any of that. So there's pictures of him in the wheelchair, then with the calipers, and he learned to walk again. And what happened then? He learned to walk so well that he managed to blag his national service. So he then got a job as a draftsman. A lot of the big ships were built. The QE2, the Queen Mary were all built in Clydebank. Not sure where you're from, but that's our claim to fame. That and wet. So he then got the job on the boards. And what happened was, when he'd been doing the job a long time, and he was bright. He never got the chance to show he was bright. He never got the chance to go to university because of his start in life. And he ended up then being offered a job as a high school lecturer. Now that, again, from Clydebank, that's quite a good job, really. But he was influenced by my mother, and my mum was a small town girl. She was one of 12. You know, she didn't like risk, and he turned the job down. Now that meant that we never got to buy a house, we never got a garden, we were always brought up in a high flat. So sometimes, again, other people's fixed mindsets affects our decisions as well. When he was 55, right, and again in the shipyards, you have to think about Scotland at that time, 55, this thing came into the country called computers. I don't think they'll ever catch on. And what was happening was all the young guys were coming in and they were doing AutoCAD. The old guys who were on the board in the shipyards were just getting made redundant. It was just like, get to 55 and you're out of here. So my dad had a choice. He could stick with that fixed mindset that a lot of people did, or he could go back to the growth mindset that he had when he was a child. So at 55, he went back to night school, this time not as the teacher, but as the pupil. And what happened was, he could then do AutoCAD and the boards. The young guys could only do AutoCAD, the old guys could only do the boards. And my dad became the most sought after draftsman in Scotland and the north of England because he had a growth mindset. So why do I tell you that? I tell you that because A, you can change your mindset, and actually you can change the mindset of people in your team, but also you can be influenced by other people. But without a growth mindset, you cannot be entrepreneurial.